In this Did You Get It, we're asked to practice some of the types of computations involving percents that we're going to be using not just in the remainder of this lesson, but in a wide variety of different places throughout the course. First, we're asked to find 38% of 400. A couple things to keep in mind. First, when we're doing computations with percents like 38%, we're going to want to write them in decimal or fractional notation. And also the word of almost always stands for times. So we can translate this as find 38% times 400. And then for purposes of doing that multiplication, write 38% in decimal form as 0.38. And when you multiply that by 400, what you get is 152. And so that is 38% of 400. We could also have written that 38% as 38 over 100 in fractional form, and it would have worked just as well. In the second question, we're asked to find a certain amount, and what we know about that amount is $17.49 is 20% of it. Well, if you look at it a certain way, the is and the of lead me to believe that this could be translated into an equation, because often when we're trying to use algebra to solve problems, is stands in for equals. So let's see what we can do. We have our amount of $17.49, and we're told that is equals 20% of some unknown amount. Well, from part A, we know that that 20% of some unknown amount would be 20% in decimal or fractional form times the amount. Well, the amount I don't know, so I will use a symbol like say x to stand in for that unknown amount. And now my statement looks like $17.49 is 20% of some unknown amount. Well, what we want to find is the unknown amount. Now we use our algebra skills. To isolate that unknown amount, we would want to divide both sides by 0.2. When I do that on one side of the equation, I now just have x, which is what I'm looking for. That's good. On the other side of the equation, I have $17.49 divided by 0.2, which when you do the calculation works out numerically to 87.45. I then keep in mind that this is a dollar amount, and so my answer makes sense. I've found that $17.49 is 20% of $87.45. The third part also is something that looks like it can be translated into an equation. What percentage of 42 is 15? So this time what we don't know is the percentage, so I have a certain unknown percentage, which I'll represent by x. You could use p or y or smiley face or whatever symbol makes you happy. So I have an unknown percentage of times 42 is equals 15. So I double check, does this translate correctly? What percent of 42 is 15? Now I again want to find x, which is my unknown percentage. So I use my stellar algebra skills, recognizing I can solve this equation if I divide both sides by 42. And I get x equals 15 over 42. Now in decimal form, when I punch that in on the calculator, I get 0.357142857. One of the things that we've kind of left open in this course and in this book is for you to interpret how many decimal places seems to be reasonable in a given situation. In this case, I think probably 3 decimal places seems pretty good. So I choose x equals 0.357. Well, that's the decimal form, but the question said what percentage, so it really wants an answer in percent form, and so I write that in percent form by moving the decimal 2 places to the right. And I find that 15 is 35.7% of 42.